Hi, Beth O'Reilly here, Inspired by Design for the month of March. We've got Marsala's Pantone Color of the Year, UCI's fabulous and contemporary containers, and we're going for the unstructured, very garden design this month. And it's been very popular. It's lush with greenery. We've got bay laurel and olive branch, and we're pairing that all together with this deep, rich, earthy wine tone, which is Marsala. And I know it's kind of an autumnal color, so it may be hard for some people to think, what do I do with that with a spring bride who wants to use this very trendy Pantone color of the year? We're pairing it with mixed metals, which is very trendy. Anything from gold and silver to the brassier tones. UCI carries this very contemporary container, and you can see we've got this kind of, I call it new traditions, because it's a new traditional arrangement. We've got an unstructured garden feel. It's very loose and airy, but we still have to keep within the principles and elements of design. Basically, all I've done is I've taken a bouquet holder and cut off the stem, and that works great. These would be great for a setup, because if you can imagine, you're going to take up very little space in your van just loading these up, and then all of your arrangements just easily can pop in. So another thing that's really popular right now is the oversized bridal bouquet. We see pictures of these old weddings where the bride had these huge bouquets. So cascades are back, big is back, and here's a wonderful example of how you can pair all of these wonderful Marsala tones in with the muted antique flowers, and a bride carrying this is a stunning look down the aisle. So I'd like to show you guys just how I go about doing a hand-tied bouquet with this really unstructured and casual feel. First of all, I've got amazing product from Mayesh. It always helps. It makes our job much easier when we have beautiful products to work with. And I've cleaned all the stems and I have them all laying out ready for me to work with. And what I'm going to do is this is going to be a cascade. And I'm starting with the jasmine vine, which is a blooming jasmine. And I'm just going to really casually gather all this up. And then I'm going to start working my base flowers in. Hydrangeas are wonderful. I think a lot of times as designers, we always want to go to that spiral, doing the spiral for a hand-tied bouquet, and this might not be the best place for that. I'm actually going to be placing my stems very carefully, and I also want to get a lot of depth. I'm going to be grouping some flowers. You know, it's as if I went out to the garden and just picked these things, but we want to have some really good principles and elements of design in there. I've got a great color palette. These are the Japanese Sweet Pea. You can see the bicolor in them. Pretty wonderful, pretty rare. Mayesh has them. Mayesh is great for bringing in all of those products that are like couture, and you see them everywhere, but they're not quite at your local wholesalers. Mayesh has them. We've got two different varieties of Japanese Ranunculus. This one is a little bit more of a frilly edge. I'm going to do just a little bit of color grouping too. I think that always helps. We're also going to bring in this Marsala tone. The burgundies really are the Marsala tones. Anything from a burgundy wine to a brownish red, that's considered the Marsala Pantone. This pink colored pieris japonica is phenomenal. Not always available, but you know, I'm a designer just like you guys, and when I see something that speaks to me, I just have to use it. So I'm really working on placing the burgundies deep down in. We want that depth. It's really not all about that dark autumnal color. It's about bringing it out with some of these spring flowers. And again, we've got the Japanese lisianthus, and look at the color on that. So unique, so different. It really will help set yourself apart from people who maybe aren't using Mayesh as a source for their flowers. This is the Charity Oswater Garden Rose. Look at the frilly green inside. It's so unique and wonderful. I'm leaving a lot of these foliages on. Just helps add to that garden feel. We've also got clematis vine that we're going to work in. And again, I'm not necessarily doing a spiral. I'm working these flowers into the bouquet, just like I would an arrangement. So as you can see, I still have kind of a spiral going, but I've let the trail of the cascading effect of all of these wonderful products just kind of dictate where this bouquet was going. I still have kept a great focal area, and we've also worked in the Marsala tones in there just to bring that color palette to life. And I usually finish my bouquets off with anchor tape. It's not anything that's genius, but it works. Everybody has their own different ways they like to finish off their hand-tied bouquets, but this is just my favorite way. Another thing with bridal bouquets this season is ribbon streamers. We're seeing lots of ribbon streamers, not necessarily bows, but coordinating ribbon streamers. And so we've got a wonderful palette of streamers to add to this bouquet. And before I finish off the stem, I'm just going to go ahead and tie these ribbons around. So basically this is what the back looks like for right now until I finish the rest of it off. And now I'm going to finish the rest of this off with ribbon. And then a really great way to finish off a bridal bouquet, especially in the back, because sometimes I think we forget that the bride is looking at it from behind. Maybe it's not something everybody sees, but the bride sees it. So I like to do a rosette, which I'll do with these leftover streamers that we have here. So I'm just twisting the remaining ribbons. I have a knot right here in the center, and then I'm just going to wind these around to make this pretty rosette. I'm going to get rid of the extra. Tuck this behind. And then I'm going to pin it. Being careful that the pin goes into the meat of my stems and not out where it would hit somebody's hand. So basically, we finished off the back really pretty. And of course, a clean cut on the stems. And what we're left with is a very trend-forward, wonderful organic bridal bouquet. We've got a little bit of everything wonderful from Mayesh flowers. And thank you for joining us for the month of March as we explore the Pantone color Marsala and beautiful, unstructured, the new traditional bridal bouquet.